Another example that I don't think I've shared with you guys before is when I was doing the 9 to 5 job, because this applies too for people who are working the 9 to 5, is that you got to know your worth, and you got to know that you are smart, that you are educated on that. That's why you're teaching X, Y, and Z. And that's why people are seeking you out as a resource. Whether it's your full-time gig or not, they're still seeking you out for that knowledge. And so back when I was doing the 9 to 5, I knew what I was worth. It took me a while, so you may not know it now, but that's okay. You'll learn it. But know your worth and know that you need to be aware of what's going on around you and what you're doing and how that's having an impact on others. And back when I was doing the 9 to 5, I finally figured that out, and I knew how much money I was making the company, and I knew how much of an impact I had on the people around me. And so when it came to review time, I knew that I was in the right spot to ask for more when it came to the raise time. And frankly, I was able to comfortably sit there and say, that's a great number, but how do we make that go up? It was the craziest moment, because prior to that, I was totally trying to figure out, how am I going to ask this question? How am I going to go about it? Because we're not supposed to talk about money. We're not supposed to talk about raises and all that. And finally, in that moment, it just came together. And I sat there and I literally leaned back in my chair and I said, that's a great start, but how do we get that higher? Because frankly, 26 cents is not a good raise for me, especially when I know that I'm holding things together and I'm bringing things up. So, of course, the only real answer was, unfortunately, we have to wait till next year and maybe it could be a little bit more. But I was sitting there like, okay, well, that's just more validation of why I need to do what I'm doing now, which is Ed Troxel Creative. That was just another push. Thankfully, they didn't give me the number. And here's the cool thing. I had said that I had a number in mind, and they asked, well, what's that number? And I said, I'm not going to say, because I wanted to see what you guys thought I was worth. I know what I'm worth, and I know what the number should be. Was it realistically going to go up that high? No, I figured it probably wouldn't, but at the end of the day, I kept that number in my head to see where they were going to put me, and they did not put me even close to that number. So I knew that at that point that I had already done everything I needed to. I've worked hard, and the timing was just perfect for what I had to do. And of course, 26 cents, I mean, a raise is a raise. Like, let's be honest. I mean, anything's better than nothing, right? I'm totally all about that. But once you know your worth and you have that drive to do more and to be more, then you know, okay, I can start planning my exit strategy, or I can start working with these clients. So just think about that as a whole and really just pay attention to the work that you do.